Hello everyone and welcome back to Mystic Jade's Tarot Corner. Today we are doing a full deck unboxing and review of the Pantheon Tarot by Wyspell. I will do a closer overview of the box since we have the plastic off and it's not so shiny. So let's go ahead and get started. From now on, I'm going to try to open all my decks on camera, which is really tough because I like to open and explore them right away, and sometimes I don't have time to record right away. So this has been sitting here for a few hours already, and I've been very excited to get it open. This is a deck that I have been looking at. It's a cheaper one on Amazon. It was only $14. So I'm not, I don't have high expectations, but the reviews are really good and the artwork looks really pretty, and it is, according to the Amazon pictures and descriptions, it is human art, which is incredibly important to me nowadays, and I really do my best to avoid buying AI decks. I might have 2 that I think were made with AI, 3 potentially, but I didn't know until I got them. Well, one of them I had an idea, but the deck was too cute and funny, so I made an exception to my rule. However, 99.9999999% chance he is your daddy and I'm not buying an AI deck, okay? So, I don't know what's wrong with me. Jumping into the review. So far, I am loving the deck. I love this color, blue. It's so pretty. It says the Pantheon Tarot invites you on a mystical journey through the realm of gods and legends. Each card brings to life a unique archetype from the myths of many cultures, weaving ancient wisdom into every reading. United in this deck, the deities open doors to truth, offer guidance, and inspire new beginnings. This set includes a 78 card deck with all major and minor arcana cards, 200-page pocket guidebook. Use daily to manifest your intentions, tap into your intuition, build confidence in your card readings. And then we just have typical information. And the bottom is blank. And we're going to go ahead and open it up. Let's see. We have Unlock the Sacred Mysteries of Tarot. Discover the incredible wisdom of the tarot and bask in all its magic. Beautiful. I really love this blue. Okay. And we have, may each reading reveal the answers you seek. I love that. So pretty, so thoughtful. So far, 5 stars out of 5 stars if I had to review it right this moment. But first we need to get into the deck. And yes, I kind of like that this is covered on the bottom. It's cool. And the top is fine. The back is fine. It's a little bit ovalish for a wheel. But let's get this plastic off. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove this card, and it's just, you can scan that if you choose, to explore daily tarot practices, tarot spreads, and insightful readings. Okay, and right away we have the Fool. Okay, so before we get into the deck, let's get into the book a little bit. So this is the meanings that it has inside. It shows you the deity that is on the card. It gives you a love meaning, career meaning, finances in regular, upright, and in reverse. I don't usually read reversals. I just don't carry that energy in my cards, and I have the ability to read them very, in a really in-depth way that I really don't require reversals. Rarely will you see me reading a reversal. It's just not necessary for me. But it is for other people and however they practice tarot, and that's wonderful for them. It's just not the way that I read. And that is no shade to literally anybody. I probably deserve shade for not reading reversals because people think that I'm not reading truly into the energy of the cards. If you watch any of my readings, you know. It has 26 pages in the beginning, all about layouts and the way to read the cards and all of that. So I think that's a really great beginner's book, and I do truly love that it has the upright and the reverse meanings for the people who would like to know what they are and learn them as well. And every page includes a picture of the card and a little blurb about the deity, and I just think it is just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay. I am not going to name the deity on the card because 90% of them I can guarantee I'm not familiar with yet, and I don't want to mess up their names and anything like that. So I'm just gonna go through the deck, talk about the pictures a little bit. If I know who it is, then I will say that, but otherwise I'm not going to try to disrespect, or I'm not going to try to guess and potentially disrespect anybody's practice or pantheon. So we're just going to go with the flow. Here we have the Fool. I really like that this Fool has the fox rather than a dog. It's like very like more of kind of like fun, bouncy, explorer type energy along with this. And I like the eye in the sun as well. Okay, and we have the Magician here. This is Hermes, I believe. Okay, and we have High Priestess. This is Hecate with her dogs and her keys. I love it. It's beautiful and dark in all the right ways. Just a gorgeous card. I really like this artwork. It's very layered. The Empress. We have the deer and the basket, the fruitful basket here, the bountiful crown, the sun coming up, more deer in the background. Just beautiful, fertile earth energy. Gorgeous. I believe that is Gaia. Emperor, we have Zeus. Very strong, authoritative energy. Very simple but heavy energy. Very impactful. We have Thoth in the Hierophant. Beautiful card. The Lovers. This is really pretty. Sorry about the nudity. Gotta cover up here. And we have the Chariot. Interesting that it has 3 instead of 2. I'm not sure who this is, and I'm not going to take the time now to look it up, but it's the way that this card is set up is very interesting. The 4 suns is very repetitive to me, and like the 3 horses, it's giving more of like cycles rather than movement, like maybe moving through cycles rather than moving out of cycles. You're moving through repeating the same cycle. I'm not going to try to give you a reading right now. This is just on a review. Anyway, but I'm just trying to interpret the card for what the artwork is saying. And we have Strength here. I love the dolphin in the background. Hermit. And I love that, like, he's all, so if you can't see here in the light, the way the lighting is, there's also a raven on his shoulder. I love that he has one eye open and one eye closed, because it's like, just because I'm in solitude doesn't mean I'm not ready for action. It doesn't mean I'm not ready to take on what's coming for me. I'm just taking a moment out to rediscover myself. I love that energy. Very beautiful energy. We have the Wheel of Fortune. I believe this is Fortuna. Justice. I believe this is Ma'a, and it is her feather that is weighed against your heart as you enter the afterlife. We have the Hanged Man. Interesting dark energy here. Death, transformation. I'm not sure who this is, and I don't know about the culture behind this card, so I need to look into that. Temperance, this is beautiful. I love the Temperance card. I love that they're standing on a lotus, and just, this is beautiful. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the deck, and I don't know who this is, but it's just really beautiful energy, and it's really bringing the imagery of like balance and remaining stable through like shaken waters, but having like depending on the energy of spirit to keep you level-headed and being able to alchemize that energy to keep you going. The Devil, sorry, I have to cover the bottom because we have nakey people, but I think it's really interesting that the snake here is like 2-headed. It just keeps going on around it through itself, and it's almost like a double-edged sword energy going on in this devil. Okay, we have the Tower. Star, beautiful interpretation of the star. The moon. The sun, we have Ra, the sun god, Egyptian sun god. And then we have my Egyptian deity, my patron Egyptian deity, if that's how you say it, I'm not sure, but he is tattooed on my neck. This is Anubis, and he is the one that carries the scales, or holds the scales, as your heart is weighed against Ma'at's feather. And then he decides, based off of the scales, whether your soul is fed to a different deity called Amnut. If my knowledge is not failing me right now, it is a crocodile, hippo, and maybe one other animal mixed in together, and that is what eats your soul if it is heavier than the feather, because you need to have a light soul to enter the afterlife. And if you have lived a life of injustices, then your heart is fed to Amnut and you no longer exist. Your soul does not get to reincarnate. Okay, just a little bit of the story of Anubis and Egyptian Pantheon. I have studied a lot. Sometimes my facts get a little bit jumbled, so if I'm not 100% correct, my apologies, but I have listened to the Egyptian Book of Dead many times. With ADHD, I tend to get jumbled facts. You see, I tend to get facts jumbled, or I don't always know exactly all of the details, or they're in my head, but they can't come out of my mouth in the correct order or way. Anyway, enough of my neurodivergence. We have the world here, beautiful. We have Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Three of Wands. Okay, I don't need to be repeating it. Sorry if that's annoying. I'm trying to keep you engaged here. That is Maui. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands. Sorry, I don't have a lot to say about these. They are minor arcana cards. They're really self-explanatory, you know. Nine of Wands, carrying the weight of the world. 10 of Wands, continuing to move while you carry the weight. And then we have the Page of Wands, back into lighter energy. Knight of Wands. How beautiful is that card? Can't wait to see who that is. These are all, I've seen most of these, but I just don't know their names, and I don't want to butcher them. So that's why I'm trying to be more careful and not go through each of them, and then also save you time, because I really don't need to, you don't need to hear me say all of them, right? What a beautiful depiction and reflection, and the water and everything on the Two of Swords. It's really pretty. Interesting. Six of Swords almost looks, and it's the Hermit taking that journey, which is not what would look like the typical, well, it looks like the Hermit taking that journey, right? Which is not typical in the Rider-Waite-Smith. Seven of Swords. Oops. So far, it's really nice. The thing I will say is that the cardstock is very papery, so that I could see it like wearing out. It's very like, I can't wait to shuffle it. I'm sure it's great to shuffle, but it is very thin, and I could see the edges kind of getting that frayed, worn in look with too much use, or like over time. So far, I'm really liking the imagery of this and the artwork, so I don't think that it would keep me from buying decks from this brand or this seller or this publisher in the future, but it's just something to be aware of. I mean, like I said in the beginning, the deck was only $13.99. No, it's only $14. So, I mean, for that, I think this is a wonderful value. Wonderful value. This is a beautiful deck. It has a lot of very beautiful artwork, and most of the work goes right along with the Rider-Waite-Smith. So this deck is not bad for beginners or when you're first starting out. I would say this is like a good deck for your third or fourth one when you're really trying to connect to more like deity work and things like that. Four of Cups. Like some of these are just like, how would you even know? This is just a dude in a cloak. How do I know who that is? I have to look in the book. The Six of Cups. Okay. Interesting. I think it's interesting that it's a man and his options are all ladies. Okay. And there's the lady discovering that her man is all thinking about all the options of ladies. my goodness. I've never seen that depiction of the Seven of Cups before, so that's interesting. And we have the Ten of Cups. Finally, she settles down with the right man. And we have the Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. Beautiful. Queen of Cups. Gorgeous. King here. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. Look at that bountiful harvest coming out of the cornucopia. Beautiful. Two of Pentacles. We are almost done here. Five of Pentacles. That's an interesting depiction. It's almost like you dropped all your money. You lost your way on the path. You lost yourself on the path energy. Okay, I like it. And it's like literally the pentacles growing out of the ground. And you know what? In this golden statue, I'm getting, depending on, like, they're using the energy of their spirit guides to bring in this wealth and to help them with this building of harvest and with the patience that it takes to wait for this to manifest and grow. The Eight of Pentacles. This is usually one of my favorite cards in the tarot. Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful energy. I love that it still has the falcon. It's a shout out to the classic deck. Ten of Pentacles. Page. The Knight. Queen. Beautiful. Look at her sitting there with her baby. It's so pretty. I really love the interpretation of these cards, the way that they interpret the classic deck into a way that relates to the deity that is there. And I appreciate the cornucopia energy throughout the pentacles. It's like bountiful harvest. It's more than just money. It's harvest. And bountiful harvest comes from so many different things, you know? Anyway, I don't need to go into a rant like a reading as I was about to do. But there's the King of Pentacles. So there's the deck. Let's go ahead and give it a shuffle. I am a bridge shuffler. So it is very important to me. I think it's just a little bit stiff, but it will loosen up as time goes. Let's try that one more time. Okay. All right, deck cards. Like sometimes I don't know if it's me doing that, like how is it skipping like that, but okay, there we go. That was a really good run. Yeah, I think the decks just really need to wear in. They're not sticking together at all. They're really like, it's a matte finish, but it's still like they're really just like slipping right in and out of each other very smoothly. It's a really great shuffle, like a really good shuffle. And the bridge shuffle will wear in as I use the deck. All right, let's pull a card real quick. Let's just pull a card and see what comes out. What do we need to know? What deity do we need to see in this moment? Death, rebirth, and transformation. Okay, I think I said I wanted to know who that was, right? Did I? I said about somebody, that's for sure. But we are going to check and read a little bit about the death card because we are not afraid of this card. We understand that this card just means Death of a version of ourself that is no longer serving us, not our whole body. Transformation, endings, change, transition, letting go, release. Yama, Hindu god of death who guides souls through the passage from one life to the next. As ruler of the afterlife, he reminds us that every ending opens space for renewal. All right. The death card signals that one major phase in your life is ending and a new one is about to begin. You just need to close one door so the new one can open. Basically, what I just said. The same thing that I had just read. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and end there. I would give this deck a very high rating, 5 out of 5 stars. I forget which rating I use 10 out of 10 stars on my ratings in my descriptions. I would give this a 9, just because I can tell the papery finish on the edges is going to wear in. It would be really nice if it had gilded edges. Imagine this was like blue metallic. Oof. Oof. That would be so pretty. But that would also make it much more expensive. So for the price point of $14, I would definitely say that this is worth every single one of those pennies. Okay, if you made it this far, leave a blue heart. Leave a blue heart in the comments below to let me know that you watched all the way through. Make sure like, comment, subscribe. As you can tell, my channel is still very small at the time that you're watching this, at the time of uploading this. So all of my growth is really dependent on your interaction. So please do all of the things so that I can continue to do this here on YouTube. Thanks, friends. Bye-bye.